I would like to tell you that I've sent proposals for the three events I told you about, the event here, and I sent to LT Week Argentina and to LT Week Peru as well, my proposal. Let's see what's gonna happen.
Congratulations. Congratulations.
I've done it on the weekend. Yes, on the weekend I've done it because this is the last week to send all the proposals. And this week I'm extra busy, so I send everything on Sunday. So I'm excited about
Great.
that, about sending.
Great.
Yes, sending for me was very nice.
Well,
Yes.
maybe you can consult IATEFL as well. When is the deadline for IATEFL?
IATEFL.
The big one in England.
Oh no. No.
Well, you know that there are scholarships, so you can.
Yes.
Okay.
I think
You
maybe
can apply.
I try. Yes, for it. Yes, maybe I look for this information. I try. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
Yes.
I know
And I got my book. I got this book that it's about culture in the classroom. I think you don't see it, but I printed it all and I'm gonna start reading. Yeah, I think you don't see
No,
because,
we don't see.
Because it's blurred.
Yeah,
We can't see it because you
gonna,
blur your.
If you send us the information, maybe we can do something.
There.
Yeah, this is the book we got. I got it, the PDF, then I printed. I'm gonna start reading this book. It's about culture in the classroom.
Can you send us the PDF? Can you share
I will. I'll share. This book it's about culture and awareness, and I'm gonna read it. I'm looking for some information as well, though more information about the topic.
Sure.
And
the more the better.
Yes. And I'm sorry, I couldn't write on my journal, my reflect. I couldn't do the writing, but I didn't forget. It's like extra things happening at the end of the year, but I didn't forget. I'm thinking, but I'm not really. I didn't write, but I'm thinking about your question.
Well, you were very busy
You were
the weekend.
Yes, because the end of the year is coming, and then my students are getting on vacation, and then I have my own business, and then I had to do many plans for next year. But this is not really an excuse because I want to do this as well, but I'll get better.
Great.
But I'm thinking about my reflection. I'm thinking about everything that's happening to me, and then how can improve. I've checked the lesson plan. I was looking at it, reflecting on it, and I'm there as well.
Great.
I was thinking about everything here, and I think the plan's all good. I think nothing to change.
Okay, great. Well, the fact is, Jerusa, that this is just an action plan, a format. We may change it if it doesn't suit you. We thought that it was necessary to share these the goal, the learning outcomes with you, and also the activities that will help us achieve the goals. So we wanted to make sure that we are all on the same page as to what we are heading for. I think we have been quite realistic in having this checklist because it's something we can do in this short time, and we thought of having this, of course, supported by evidence from our own practice as well, reflection and reading. So it's the three columns that will kind of support the design of this checklist. And what about the learning outcomes of this mentoring experience? Maybe we were a bit too ambitious, or I don't know.
Now, I know, I feel that it's gonna help me to have goals, to make the change I need, and to focus on that. Yes, because from 2026, after we started our meetings and discussions, I started to think that I don't have a clear CPD for myself.
Good.
That's why I got lost in so many things, so many options, so many stuff that I couldn't really focus on. So after I started to reflect on that as well. And I feel that I didn't advance much in my career. I mean, as a teacher educator, because I don't have focus.
Okay.
I want to do everything, and this is not really possible.
Okay.
So I didn't accept many, I didn't enroll myself in many courses that people offered to me. I stopped that because I said, no, you're gonna first decide what you're gonna do, and then you go enroll it in courses and in, because I wanted to do everything,
Of course.
but I didn't use it. It's just to
Okay.
go there. So I think these outcomes are interesting because I'm reflecting a lot about this.
Good. Good. So in a way, we are aware that you have this need to become a teacher educator, and so that you will know which hat you're wearing. So okay, now I'm wearing the teacher's hat, now I'm wearing the teacher educator's hat. So
Yeah,
we need to make sure that you reach the end of this mentoring experience having described and differentiated the two roles and being able to move
that's it.
from one role to the other, and explicitly being very clear as to that.
Except,
Well, we have already started with some theory and models that will inform your practice, the Inspire model, and today we're going to continue. The co-construction will also start today with the questions. In fact, we already started last session when you noted down some questions about the context. Remember that you
yeah.
were having a role play activity? Well, those questions
Mm-hmm.
will definitely be part of this checklist, of this document
Nice.
building, because they will be contextual questions, questions that you will ask whenever you are about to start with the planning of the workshop. Questions that
Mm.
you will ask the organizers of the workshop, or maybe you will ask yourself, or you will go to the web page and look for that information about the conference or whatever you're applying for.
I
So
see.
I think we have already started. And as to the reflections, well, as you see, every meeting we have some time for reflection, and well, the diary will also be a space for reflection. So I feel that the learning outcomes seem to be quite realistic as well
Mm.
as to what we can do, because this is important for your workshops, for an action plan. As you said, I am going to have a CPD action plan. Great, Jerusa. This is wonderful because it will help you focus. Say 2026, my focus is on, and you can have an overall goal, some learning outcomes, some realistic ones, and then you can plan as we have done with the stages, the different
Yeah.
moments of your action plan. So
Mm-hmm.
in the stages, we have objectives, activity, and assessment. Have you noticed the relationship between the three moments, the three parts?
Mm. No, I didn't think about that. I was reading just and said, oh, this is so interesting. No, this is so, but I really didn't. It's a great question. I didn't really analyze that this way. No,
And what do you think is the
I mean,
relationship between these three columns, say the objectives, the activity,
I'm gonna get my one here.
and the assessment.
Okay. Just so 1 second. I will read it again and see that very fast, of course. November. Okay, let me get the.
Well,
I'm gonna get the.
last time we had this role play activity. We remember. So
Yes, yes. Overall, I think they are connected to make me get to make me or us reach the outcomes. One is supporting the other, completing the other. I
right.
want to say completing is better. Yes.
And the assessment column, the whatever.
Assessment. Yeah, you put different kinds of assessment here. Can I say that's a technical name that those assessments are formative?
Okay.
Can I say that?
Okay.
Can I use this word? Yeah.
Okay.
So they are directed to me to reflect, and that you can have a kind of evaluation as well, but formative, like you give me this reflection.
Throughout, we are gathering evidence
Yes.
that to make sure that the learning outcome is actually achieved. And if it isn't, or if it is partially achieved, well, Sylvia and I need to reflect upon the choices of the activities or what happened during the meeting, and probably, well, make necessary changes for the following meeting. That is why we thought that today we're going to go back to this formulation of, this Inspire model, and goes into each of the principles and frame a question, because in that way we will be able to gather even more evidence of your understanding of the model, right? So the evidence that we gained last meeting gave us some insights into what is it that we still need to do to achieve the final outcome. Sylvia, you want to ask something of Jerusa?
Yes, I was going to just say that this is just one layout, one possible layout in which you can present an action plan. It's not the only one, but if you read it from the left to the right, that will be kind of looking forward, in the sense that this is a learning outcome that we have thought of. Then we design the activity and we design the assessment for the activity. So that's kind of looking forward. But when this is carried out, at the end, you can also look back, starting at the other end, and saying, okay, what evidence did this assessment give? Was it in keeping with the activity? And to what extent has this evidence revealed that the learning outcome was achieved? Okay? So you see that the horizontal, the rows, can be read before the implementation of the action plan one way, one direction. And when the plan is implemented, you can go back and see and then assess the whole initiative.
Yes, I understand. So it's very, very interesting. Very, very interesting.
And you can do the same when planning your workshop, right?
With any activity.
Yes. I mean, when you plan your workshop, you will think of an overall goal, but then you will think of at least, say, 3 learning outcomes, starting from lower order skills where people identify or recognize, until they get to a point where they create and they show you in their creation whether the goal, the final goal, has been achieved. So what we're trying to do is to use a loop input approach. Say, we do what we would like you to do when you plan your workshop. Yes, we're trying to model the way, because this is what we believe. Sylvia and I believe in this, right?
Okay, I understand.
Obviously, this is not, we don't expect a direct replication in the sense that of course, you can do it your own way, but the rationale underlying this is what will help you.
I see. I see. What's the name of the model? You said Sylvia, that you use in there.
Well,
You said
it's formative assessment as well. You talked about formative assessment. We believe in formative assessment. We believe that assessment is a bridge between teaching and learning. And if we don't gather evidence, we may have a clear learning outcome, but if the activity doesn't help us gather evidence, or the evidence we gather has nothing to do with what we want to achieve, then we will feel that we haven't attained anything. So, but I mean, this is quite...
There isn't, I don't know that there is a name for this model. This is actually, it's more like common sense. Like when you plan a trip and you say, okay, I want to get to a certain destination, and then you plan which way you're going to go. And then once you get there, you have to look back and say, okay, was my planning appropriate? And did I get where I wanted to get?
Yeah, I will send you Dylan William video. You will enjoy it when he explains this, what Sylvia has just explained. And the action plan has the same format. Say, we have an overall aim and we want to gather evidence session after session to see whether the overall aim is being achieved or not. So the idea here was asking you, because we haven't completed it. What about the next meetings? Is there anything you feel that we are leaving out from considering your needs?
For now, no. For now, I don't think so. No. I think for now, I feel that we're going. You understood my needs, and I think we're going to the right direction in the sense that I'm gonna acquire theoretical knowledge and also practical knowledge of doing things. And you said something that I was reflecting on as well. That every time the meetings finish, I feel that I had to think, I have to change my way of thinking. And then you said that because I think just as a teacher. And that's the thing. I don't think, maybe I like experience, I like knowledge, theoretical knowledge, and I like experience, and maybe I think I like both. I mean, because I think as a teacher, I told you that I planned my workshop as a teacher. I was feeling that I was giving a class to those teachers. So I think I have to change my mind here. It's that you addressed that.
It's not wrong to be a teacher, because you will empathize with the teachers. You have a lot of insights as to what a teacher might need and what a teacher is lacking. So that you have to make sure that you use all this knowledge you already have. But you need to create the conditions so that those teachers grow. I mean, so that when there is a difference between the moment they go into the workshop and the moment they leave, right? We all, teachers and teacher educators, we make a difference. We need to make a difference. Otherwise, what for? So, okay. Lots of eureka moments, Jerusa, you are mentioning.
Yeah. Yeah.
Lots.
Yes, I was really reflecting on that because but I've been a teacher all my life, and maybe this is, of course, this is normal. I've been a teacher all my life, so I've changed it, like got to know how is it to be a teacher educator 2 years ago, but with some 3 years ago, with just some few experiences, not really much on that. So yeah, I think it's a long work to go, but I really want to do that. I really want to change.
Great. Without leaving your teacher role. I mean, because it's important to have
Yeah,
one foot here and one foot there, so that
nice.
you can empathize. Okay, so if you have an editor role here, so feel free to include whatever. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
the action plan is yours, and ours is not only ours. I mean,
Okay. Okay.
we try.
You can add, but you can also cross out.
Yes, yes.
Oh, yes. Okay.
Yeah. But I mean, we feel that we cannot work without a plan. I mean, we need to make sure that the plan is there. But we keep on adjusting the plan according to the evidence we gather, say how far we have gone or what else is needed, so that a certain piece of knowledge or a certain skill needs to be worked on. So
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
we can keep on looking at the action plan again and again, so as to also assess it to see.
Okay.
Okay, working towards the second activity, that is, we expect to be able to formulate one clear practice-oriented guiding question for each Inspire principle, so that we can start including all these questions in our draft. So we're going to revisit the Inspire framework through a think aloud reading. So the activities are think aloud. We're going to think and work together, looking at the key sections, and then jointly draft and refine one guiding checklist question per principle. So how would you like to go about this? Would you like that to have some time on your own so that you write out the questions, go over the document, the Inspire document? Have you brought any questions? How would you like to go about it? I prepared this document so that we can start writing the questions here.
Okay, so we should go in the document and write the questions in there. The
Well,
questions
yes,
yeah, should we do that? Like,
yes.
okay, I'm gonna get my
So shall we say that we will work on our own for around 10 minutes, and then we meet again, or shall
would
we?
be nice. Would
Shall
be
we?
nice. 10 minutes
Some
would
individual.
be nice.
Okay.
No, 10 minutes again, so would be nice. Then I could, and I will gonna start and ask you if I'm in the right direction.
Okay. We can also pull some questions, Sylvia and I. So
Okay. Okay.
Okay,
So
maybe we can stop the recording for 10 minutes.
yes.
Okay.
Maybe what we can do is have like a table and write impactful the different.
nice.
I'll do that. Okay. I
Nice,
stop the
nice.
recording.
Okay. I'm gonna go there too.
Well. Amazing. We have produced a checklist in 10 minutes. Incredible. This is real collaborative work.
Yes, absolutely.
Great. Okay. In the light of this, I mean, considering your workshop, thinking of something concrete, how can these questions help you, Jerusa, improve or change or make or write a new workshop?
They can help me to reflect, to review, first of all, the concepts, and also reflect on them and design something based on them. I don't know if I can say that. I can redesign something based on that, but considering them, considering these points. It's not just design the workshop, consider the topic.
I think that some of these questions, I mean, are answered positively when you look at your workshop. Which questions would you kind of highlight that can help you go back and make some necessary changes?
Okay, I'm gonna do this right now here. I'm gonna minute. Okay, I'm here. I'm gonna read fast and give you I'm gonna highlight them here in the program, in this focus the workshop. In the focus of the workshop, clearly. This first one here, I can do that. I can think about that. I was thinking about this informally, but not formally this way. Does the workshop include concept activities dealing? Yes, this number 2, okay. To choose the other activities. Yes, I think this number 3 here. I had this on my workshop. I was talking to them about their practice. I'm gonna put it in red here for you to see. I was talking to them about this. How can you apply this on your classroom, on your I was reflecting on that, but the first one, I was not really thinking about that, I think.
The impact on the students, you mean?
No, I was not thinking about that when I designed the workshop. But I was thinking about the way the teachers would apply them to help the students. But this number 1 was not my first thought. No, it wasn't. No.
Sylvia, when you designed the question number 2, what were you thinking of, Sylvia?
Me? Yes. The idea was that sometimes you include an activity or a concept that implies a realization moment for the teachers, and then so as from that moment, the teacher is not the same teacher that entered the workshop. So this is the first, I would say, awareness moment, but then teachers may need some more help to see how that awareness translates into something in the classroom that produces an awareness moment for students as well.
Right. For example,
and it doesn't have to be an activity, but it may be a concept. In your case, Jerusa, it was this idea of cultural differences and different kinds of material that could be used.
Yes, the benefits. I think that there was the benefit. So they will become aware of the benefits of integrating cultural activities in their classroom. The question then, I understand, Sylvia, is if when they leave, they take away some possible technique or activity that they can put into practice in their classrooms. Is that what you mean, Sylvia?
Yeah, something that even if there isn't an activity at that moment, there is this idea that you tell, well, just for a minute, think of how this could be implemented in your context, because the idea is that sometimes you have teachers with such different contexts. Not obviously if you this is a workshop for one school, the context is the same for all the teachers probably. But if it is a very large audience, like in these conferences, you get people with many different contexts.
Yes.
And if time is a constraint, you give them 1 minute to think about how this could be translated. And then up your sleeve, you can have one or two examples that you mention. Okay, you could do this, or you could do this other thing. And they will feel this connection between their context and what you are trying to, the concept that you are trying to develop. So they not only have this new awareness, but they can start trying out something in their own context. And if nothing occurred to them, if nothing came to mind in that minute, then what you say can trigger some possibilities, some ideas.
So they have identified the benefits. They can think of a way to translate this into their own classroom practice. They can pair, they can talk to the one on the right, to the person sitting there next to them, share what they can do in their contexts. And then, of course, as you cannot ask the 200 people for their feedback, maybe they can jot down if they have found any similarities or differences, and then you can bring those examples that Sylvia mentions. Because when you have very large groups, it is very difficult to listen to them. In a workshop, it's much easier.
Or for example, if you give an idea for very young learners, you can say, okay, how many of you could think this could be done in your classrooms? And so show your hands. So you don't need much time, but you can still make this connection with not only the teacher, but their context as well.
Their context.
Okay,
that is
got it. I got it.
And this is closely connected to the others because it is catering for the mixed audience. Yes, that is a needs-based. How do we design needs-based activities if we have a mixed audience, right? So if we get them to think of their context and share in smaller groups, they will be we will be catering for their context as well.
And sometimes you cannot have a very specific, clear idea of the needs of all the teachers, but you can figure them out. You can say, okay, maybe I can do this to cater for teachers with this need and to cater for teachers that have this other need. But this needs to be planned beforehand so that you can address different needs that the audience might have. I
see. I have a question. I'm taking notes here. I made another copy here to take notes of what you're saying. Sylvia, again, so you said that in the workshop, I have many needs there. I don't know the teachers. I can put them like together. You said this, sorry, I think I lost. I can try to identify who works in university or who works with learners, and I can try to put them together and they discuss. Is that?
Well, it might be difficult if the audience is very large. It might be difficult, but they can always share their own experiences in their contexts. As long as they can, as long as you give them time to think about their own contexts, they will see the connection between what you're telling them and what they find in their classrooms. And if they can find the connection, then it will be possible to transfer this new knowledge. If they leave the workshop with having done activities that probably they haven't established any connection, well, they will have fewer chances to take it into the classroom so that it translates into better learning for students. So when you're thinking of all this, you need to bear this in mind. What will they take away? What will they be able to do in their classroom so that it has some impact?
So a good question.
Otherwise, Jerusa, it's a leap of faith. You
Yeah.
You carry out the workshop in the hope that. So if there is a moment in the workshop or after any modeling or activity or new concept that you bring into the workshop, there is a connection to what could be done in the classroom, but explicitly made, then the chances that this will replicate or have some impact on the students is greater, you see?
I see. So that the kind of the key, the secret is that the concepts I give, I have to make sure they have time to think about their reality and make the connection.
I
I
think so.
have to make sure they will have this moment.
This is connected to the questions in the reflective stage. Are there any specific reflection moments with guiding questions? So there, say after a certain activity or after a certain moment of awareness, they can have some time to do this. It's good that they reflect, but it's also good that they share this with others. Because when you tell others about your experience in your classroom, well, having to put this in black and white and having to put this into words will also give them some awareness moment.
I see. Okay.
So our questions seem to be good. They are bringing in a lot of.
The idea would be, Jerusa, the idea would be that after the workshop, I mean, if I am a teacher participating in the workshop, and you are trying to persuade, in this case, me, that there is a benefit in doing something, it's not just that I need to be aware of the benefit, but also about the how I can do this in my own context. At least some thinking about it. I mean, the idea would be thinking and talking to other partners about how they would do it, and then that might help me as well. So that's why it's linked to the reflective moment and peer collaboration in a way. You see how they are linked. It's not just that questions could just relate to one of the criteria.
Okay, I understand. So I got like, if I'm the workshop, I present the cultural kinds of materials, and then I ask them, okay, how can you adapt it or use it? How do you feel you can adapt it to your reality? Think a little bit, please. And then can you tell your partner or your group, what were you thinking about? Something like that. We
And
do
you
like
will
the
notice.
sequence.
Exactly. And you will notice that probably because the time of the workshop is fixed, you will probably not be displaying so many activities on the surface, but you will be exploiting one activity more deeply so that you make sure, it's not that you make sure, but at least you try to make your workshop more impactful. It's not necessary. I mean, what I'm saying sometimes is that less is more in terms of the number of activities to gain depth. By depth, I mean reflection, awareness.
Yes. I think in the sustained criterion, it says, is the amount of content manageable, leaving time for depth and practice? So little is more. Say less is more in the sustained.
Because that is also a form of modeling. I sometimes feel when I watch a lesson that teachers produce an immense number of photocopies or material to jump from one activity to the other, in the hope that more practice leads to better learning. And maybe it's not necessarily the case. So that's what we mean by less is more. That if teachers in the classroom produce an activity and get students to reflect on it, it might be more impactful than jumping from one activity to the other.
I see.
So that's what we mean by allowing processing time, instead of direct replication without reflection.
I see. I see. Yes.
Jerusa,
Okay.
you
Yes.
wrote in the sustained criterion, what does the nature of the activity mean?
Yeah, there is a part there that it talks about nature of the activity. I don't know what's that. I really couldn't figure out what is that.
Well, whether each activity has a different purpose, of course, and characteristic. When we chose the role play for last session, the case study where we played roles, it was exactly because we wanted to achieve that the aims that we set, which was, let me remember, we wanted to get you, we wanted you to get you to formulate at least 3 probing questions. And we said, okay, what meaningful activity can get Jerusa to formulate at least 3 probing questions to clarify participants' needs? And we thought of the role play, because of the nature of the role play, it would make the whole thing more meaningful. So the role play is ideal for formulating questions, for engaging in an interaction in which you needed information and the other person had it. So then, of course, the nature of the activity will also help the achievement of the learning outcomes. Now,
so it's, in a way, it's the type of activity.
It's kind
the
of
choice
the
of
activity.
activity.
Now, how does this
Okay.
help with a sustained nature of CPD? Well, if it is an activity that the teachers can replicate in their classrooms, right, it will have a better impact than if it's an activity that is only for the workshop. So you acting in the teacher's educator role, but acting as a teacher will probably give the participants like a model to follow. And so the nature of the activity is very important in that sense. So that they can watch you, they will watch you, the teacher educator, do things that probably they can do in their own classrooms again when they go back.
And then you can tell them, you see what I did with you. Oh, you can review if there is time at the end of the workshop. So what did I do? We did this, and this. Okay, which parts could you do in the classroom, or what? What moments are similar to the ones you normally have in your lessons, or which of these steps in the activity do you need to change to make it suitable for your context? Even if they don't say anything, you give them this moment to reflect and link what they have just experienced to their own context and see the need for any adaptations. Obviously, if there is more time, the ideal thing would be, okay, share your thoughts.
Okay. I understand. So I can address their attention, like, because you said that some meetings ago that sometimes you go to you are to our workshop to learn, and you also pay attention on what the trainer is doing. Like, this is nice. This is okay. So I
And
can call their attention on that. I can see
mhm,
I have
mhm,
this kind of
mhm,
activities.
mhm,
I've
mhm,
show you. Do you?
mhm.
Okay.
And
Okay.
Jerusa, you still see, I think, that the workshop continues to be practical. It's not a theoretical workshop. I mean,
Yes.
you still do it. I mean, there is the teachers in the audience do things, but they also think about what they
Mm-hmm.
can do when they leave the workshop. So it's still practical, but practical in a different sense. It's not this is the recipe, you do it, but it's this, okay, do something with me, think about it, and then improve it for your own context.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Okay. Okay. I'm writing this here.
So, of course, you are teaching them because you are acting as a teacher while you are conducting the activity. But you
Yeah.
are acting as a teacher educator when you design an activity that will include some reflection for impact later according to each of the teacher's needs.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh. I took notes here. Yes. Mm-hmm. I'm taking notes. Yes. So it's like do, think about it, and improve it and apply. I'm writing this here, the numbers, real number 1, 3, 4, apply. That's makes a lot of sense
And,
to
and that is why it is
that
so
makes a
very
lot of sense. Yeah.
it is so important to make sure that the learning outcomes are realistic, things that mean we can do in that workshop and that will have an impact on their learning, on their teaching, and on the learners, of course.
Mm-hmm. And this process of reflection
Mm.
about the connection, about how can I apply this, how can I change this to apply on my context? Is this useful? No, so I can change it. This is the reflection moment that they will have it.
This will definitely give them some time to look in, well, to gather some insights. Yeah,
Cool.
sure.
Nice, 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 nice.
Yeah,
That makes a lot of sense now to
we
me.
have a very nice first checklist,
Mm-hmm.
right? We are
Mm-hmm.
getting there. This is also important. When we have a collaborative output, it should be completed not at the very end, but in the process of.
Mm-hmm.
If you want them to produce a little something, well, the first activity can already start, could be the beginning of that product, right? So that by the time we finish, we will just have the whole output together and not wait until the very end to have our final output. So this is
And then,
in practice.
mhm. And then notice that probably we have been thinking about several questions here, but let's take impactful, for example. There are 3 questions here.
Mm-hmm.
We've spoken about modeling activities that will take into consideration reflection on the context. Later on, as you design more and more workshops, probably the question is, will this have an impact? And by impact, you already understand these things. So all these questions now are specific because we are beginning to think about the different considerations for impact.
Mm-hmm.
As you get more experience in workshop design, then probably you will say, okay, what about impact? How will this impact? Okay, so that's why we are trying to make more detailed questions now, I think.
I see. I see. Understood. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And
Nice.
I was going to invite you to continue including questions later so that,
Yes.
well, this can grow and be useful for our purposes.
Cool.
Today, we were also planning to start analyzing sample learning outcomes. We won't have time, it's already
Yes.
10, but maybe you can take a look,
I
Jerusa,
will.
at this document, and so that when we meet again, we do it
Yes.
more quickly. So before
gonna
we
like.
leave, we need to assess. I mean, we need to know how far we have gone. So there are three things in this exit ticket today. One is, what is one concrete change you will make in your workshop slides or in your description before our next mentoring meeting based on today's work with Inspire? With Inspire, not the smart outcomes, because we never got there. That is one thing, one concrete change. Then one thing that you would like us to keep doing in our mentoring sessions now with your hat of mentee. And one thing you would like us to change or add next time.
That would be going back to your needs.
Yeah, I will have to reflect. I'm gonna think about these questions, especially these needs-based and reflective. I'll think more about this because I think I have to pay more attention on these parts on the workshop and maybe cut out some of the activities I proposed so the teachers have more time for reflection. And also, I will have to prepare. I had some questions, but I had to prepare something more specific to make teachers to like, I love this. Do something with me and then reflect on it, connect it to their own reality, share if I have time. I think I want to make sure they have time to share, at least a little bit, or how they can improve it and how they can apply it. I want to do that, review my workshop in line with what we did today.
Wow.
And
More than
cut some
one
more.
thing. More than one thing.
Yes, yes.
Woo.
Cut some activities too. Yes, yes, yes. Thinking time, I was not really aware of that, but now I am. Now I will. How that's important. I didn't know that. I didn't know that. So now I do, and then I will think and replan
Because you know,
things.
Jerusa, maybe the teachers do that thinking after they leave your workshop, but we don't know.
Yeah.
So we want to make sure that they do a little bit of thinking there and then,
Yes.
right
Yes.
after we have the activity or we present the concept.
Exactly. I think I like the way you give me things to read beforehand, and then I can think about. One thing I would like to ask, if it's possible, um, because it will give me more time, but if it's not possible, it's all right. But if you can give me something like Wednesday.
Wednesday. Okay.
Is if you can, I know you have lots of things to do, but if you can think, then I have Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday,
Great.
that I would like you to change if it's possible. Nothing else.
Sure. Thank
Nothing
you.
else, if possible.
Thank you so
Okay.
much, Jerusa. As usual, it's a learning moment for both
Yes, it's
you and
great. I forget everything. I just stay here, and that's so cool.
it's
So
good. So thank you so much. We were meeting next week on Tuesday as well.
yes.
Cynthia will be somewhere else. So
I have to examine. Yeah.
Okay. Yes.
an oral examiner for Cambridge. So she will be far.
So I thought it was like a doctor medical exam. No, you
No,
have an
no, no,
exam.
no, no, no. No, no, I don't have to be examined. I have to examine students.
You're gonna examine students. Okay, cool.
So
Nice.
we will be sending you everything on Wednesday. Thank you so much.
If possible. Okay. If possible, don't worry. I'll do something.
Thank you
Take
so
care.
much.
Bye-bye.
Okay, bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
You, bye-bye.